one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing and join the board in a moment of silence as we honor our veterans, our first responders, and our active military. Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to our first meeting of May. I'll entertain a approval for bills and payroll. Approval of bills and payroll, please.
Motion?
Motion by trustee Casada. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Salaski. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Rivera.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Resolved to approve the minutes of the meetings of the Board of Trustees from April 2nd, April 9th, and April 16th, 2025.
Entertain a motion. Motion by trustee Casada. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by deputy mayor Sartori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Resolved that the Village of Mineola is authorized to enter into an intermunicipal agreement with the County of Nassau pertaining to the installation of HVAC ductwork at the Mineola Memorial Library, and that the mayor is authorized to sign the intermunicipal agreement on behalf of the village, and it is further resolved that this project is considered a Type 2 action under Section 617.5C9.
Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Clark, seconded by trustee Salaski. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Resolved to approve a request from Corpus Christi Church to use the village streets for a devotional procession on Tuesday, May 13th, 2025, from approximately 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., utilizing the following route on your agenda.
Okay, this is an annual request. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion
Second.
by deputy mayor Sartori, seconded by trustee Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Resolved to approve a request by Girl Scout Troop 1460 for the use of a Village Hall Community Center general purpose room to host a beach glass mosaic class on Friday, June 6, 2025, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Clark. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by deputy mayor Sartori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Resolved to approve a request from the Birchwood Court Owners, Inc. for the use of the Village Hall Community Center auditorium to hold their annual meeting of shareholders on Tuesday, June 17th, 2025, from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Casado. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Clark. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Resolved to approve the membership of the following candidate as recommended by the Mineola Fire Department: Mitchell Correa, Company 3.
Okay, welcome aboard. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
trustee and ex-chief Clark, and seconded by honorary chief Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And I have two personnel items. Resolved to authorize the posting of a clerk typist position in the Village Justice Court.
Entertain a motion for the posting.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Clark. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by deputy mayor Sartori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And resolved to authorize the hiring of seasonal employees for the John Estevanzo Community Pool and the Summer Recreation Program.
Okay, and I'm sure there'll be some changes, and
Yep.
normally there are, but this is the first go at it. It's almost pool season. We're about, about a month
Right
away.
there,
Yeah.
We're about a month away, 5 weeks away.
If
I'll
it stops raining.
entertain a motion, yes, if it stops
I'll
raining.
make that motion.
Motion by trustee Casado. Do I have a second?
Second.
And second by trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Nope.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera. Mr. Chacon.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, John
Good
G.
evening.
The first item is resolved to authorize Wind Cave as the credit card processor for the Harrison Garage.
Okay, I would like to thank Mr. Romandetti and Mr. Chacon for working on this. As you know, every time, whether it's a restaurant or a store, there are processing fees for using credit cards, and Mr. Romandetti has found savings for us by going with this company, significant savings in terms of what we pay for the credit card processing fees. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the use of this vendor for the card processing fees at the Harrison Avenue Garage.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Clark. Do I have a second?
Second.
second by Deputy Mayor Sartori. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And the second item is a personal item, resolve to hire John Gabriel as an intern in the accounting department starting May 19th, 2025, and ending August 31st, 2025 at $17 per hour.
Okay, this is a summer intern, part-time. He's working at a max of how many hours per week?
15.
15 hours per week. This is a young man, a resident who is home from college, and this is be a great experience for him. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by Trustee Salaski. Do I have a second? Second by Trustee Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Palumbo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First, request a resolution authorizing the change order number 6 for the PFAS treatment at Well 1. Phase 1 installation contract to supply and install the following items: a CalSequest signage and tank primary vent with insect screen, a spill tray underneath the sodium hypochlorite injection pump, and an insect mesh screen on the GAC air release. The contractor is Philip Ross Industries, Inc. The cost is $3,600, and the funding source is the contract allowance number 9, resulting in no change to the overall contract amount.
Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori, seconded by Trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next, request a resolution authorizing change order number 3 for the PFAS treatment at Well 1, Phase 2 general contract for the addition of trusses required at the gable ends. The contractor is WHM Plumbing and Heating Contractors, Inc. The cost is $2,702.50, and the funding source is from the contract allowance number 5, resulting in no change in the overall contract amount.
Okay, entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Trustee Clark, seconded by Trustee Casado. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next, request a resolution authorizing the emergency purchase for gutter grates for the John S. Devanzo Pool. The supplier is Commercial Clearwater Company. The total cost is $64,256.16, and the funding source is from the 2024-2025 pool fund and/or the unreserved pool fund balance.
Okay, so these are the grates that sit just around the footprint of the pool. The grates that were there currently are
Yeah.
significantly up there
They
in
last,
age.
yeah, they lasted a long
And as we
time.
painted them, the paint is peeling off, and as people sit on them, they're getting the paint and all that on their bathing suits. So it's time to replace them, and hopefully they'll last a long time.
Yeah, these lasted a long time, so
These last a
hopefully-
long time,
yeah,
so hopefully these will.
These
as
will
well.
too.
These will too. Entertain a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Trustee Salaski,
Second.
second by Deputy Mayor Sartori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
A couple of personnel items. Request a resolution accepting the retirement resignation letter received from Jim Borzlowski, Labor in the Sanitation Division of the Department of Public Works, and authorizing the benefit payout in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement.
Okay, so Jim has been with us
7 years almost?
47
Yeah,
years
46, 47 years?
in sanitation.
In sanitation.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
We want to certainly wish him well, thank him for his service, and hopefully he'll never pick up another piece of garbage in retirement.
I think he had enough.
He certainly has earned it. 47 years is a long time, so we wish Jim well, and congratulations to him. I will entertain a motion to approve his benefit payout as a result of the collective bargaining agreement.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori, seconded by Trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. Jim Borzlowski. Is he your?
horses then?
Oh, yeah.
Next.
And I guess we're gonna post. for-
Yeah, this is the next one. Request a resolution authorizing the posting of a labor position in the sanitation division of the Department of Public Works.
Only if they agree to work for 47
Said,
years.
well, yeah.
I'll entertain a motion to post for the position.
Motion.
Motion by Trustee Casado. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And finally, request a resolution authorizing the posting of a parking enforcement officer position in the Department of Public Works.
Okay, we're, planning ahead a little bit. We
Yeah.
anticipate that there may be a retirement there as well, so entertain a motion to post for a position in the parking department.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Salaski, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by deputy mayor Sartori, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As Mr. O'Keefe comes up, I'd like to mention that our paving project for this year has been completed. A few punch list items. The paving project this year was on Colonial and Hampton and all those dead ends, Hudson, et cetera. It's been a long time, and working with the school, pick up, drop off buses, it certainly had its challenges, but this past Saturday, they laid down the top layer of asphalt, and it looks great. So thank you, Mr. Palumbo, for staying on top of that. It wasn't easy. There's a lot of moving parts, but that's what we have to do in order to get those roads done. And so, on to the next one. Sue.
Good evening, everybody.
Good
How are
evening.
you? So in the month of April 2025, a total of 78 permits were issued by the building department, including electrical, plumbing, commercial, and residential permits. As we move into the warmer months, I want to take this opportunity to remind all Mineola residents to maintain their properties in accordance with village ordinances. This applies to both commercial and residential properties, as well as the sidewalks abutting your property lines. In the coming weeks, my department will be conducting property inspections to ensure compliance. But we will also be distributing letters to property owners that outline our property maintenance code requirements. One thing I haven't touched on ever in the past is pools, right? Where there's a time of year that people are going to start installing, bringing in pools to the property. Pools are one of the most dangerous things according to state code. The residential building code has very specific and strict requirements for pools, including barrier and fence height requirements, door and window alarms for any entrance or access to the backyard property, anti-suction devices for the pool drains, which is a very important one. But there's a long list of requirements, and unfortunately, these measures are in place because of past tragedies and frequently updated, to current safety standards. So if you're looking to do a pool, please come in, do it the proper way, because, you could be avoiding a lot of drama and problems in the future. So, but that's really all I have for tonight, so.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. O'Keefe?
No.
Okay.
Thanks very
Mr.
much.
O'Keefe. Thank you. Mr. Gibbons?
Nothing, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to close the work session.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori, do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Salaski, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're gonna go right into it is after 7, right? 7:05,
Yes.
so we're gonna go right into our public meeting. So we're coming out of winter, although you wouldn't know it from all the rain that we've had, and we're starting with our event series very, very shortly. So on the 17th and the 18th, we have our Foodie Festival. Last year, it was a tremendous success. It was a food truck festival, and more than just food trucks and other vendors at Wilson Park. And last year, we had it one day. This year, we're having it over the course of 2 days. So please make sure that you check messages. There is a rain date for the event in the case, but we hope that there is no rain. But again, this is the time to start checking MineolaEvents.com, where we have all of our concerts, Sounds on Second, and the events series. Certainly check our website, follow us on social media, check you should have gotten the latest Mineola Moments mailer that went home. And so all those dates are there in a nice, clip back page that you can put on your fridge. Although, most fridges now you can't hang magnets on them anymore, so I guess you could put them, wherever. So a lot is getting started, as we just mentioned. Pool season is coming, summer rec season is coming, warm weather is coming, but with that also comes other issues, and Mr. O'Keefe alluded to them, and one of them is this, with all this rain, this is also when we get a lot of weeds and things like that. And this is mostly for the commercial properties that you are responsible, but also residents, for maintaining your sidewalks and having them clean of weeds and other debris. We, along the building department and our sanitation department, are going to be going out and enforcing our code, you know, reminding people that they should be cleaning up, you know, after themselves. So a lot of times, especially our commercial properties where they may not reside here, or they may have a back part of it that they don't necessarily see all the time. So, you know, we're very particular about that. So I'm not going to talk about all the things that we have coming up, leaving something for our fellow trustees to bring up. So, Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. Another thing that's coming up is Memorial Day. We'll have a Memorial Day parade kicking off at 11 o'clock on the 26th, so we hope to see you there. It's always a special day. It's going to be a parade and a small little service to follow in the park. So hopefully we'll see you there. Also, MAA is starting to do some different things this year. It's very nice to see. And one of them is on Friday the 23rd on Field 1. They're having a movie, Sandlot, which I'm sure all of you know and love. So it'll be on Field 1 at 8 p.m. in the outfield. They're going to show the movie Sandlot. The concession stands are open, so it will be a fun little outing with your children. And again, that's Friday the 23rd. And hopefully I'll see you at the Foodie Fest. And definitely get your rec passes to join us for the pool this year. And if you have young children, to sign them up for the recreational program. It's always a great day. It's a great way for them to spend the day in the morning with their friends on the fields and just enjoying all of our great parks and pool area. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Trustee Casado?
Thank you. So this Sunday is Mom's Day, and I just want to express my best wishes and have a great day to all moms. Deputy Mayor,
Thank
Trustee,
you.
have a great day on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's right. Trustee Clark?
I just wanted to raise a point of interest. I've gotten a few phone calls recently about some car break-ins, especially on the east end of the village. They're going in and taking change out of the coffee cup holders and you know, sunglasses. So just make sure you lock your car at night. And if you do see some activity, call the police right away. Of course, they will respond and they'll follow up. So just be aware. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And Trustee Salaski?
I just want to say, following up on the mayor, that now that the weather is turning nice, now the fun things begin in the village that we can do outside. And on the 23rd of May is Sounds on 2nd Street, starts at 7:30. Come on down, the restaurants are open, have some dinner, have some drinks, and just listen to some great music. And I hope to see all the residents there. Thank you.
Thank you. And one thing that I would like to bring up is we're trying something new this year in conjunction with NYU Langone. Once a month or twice a month, we're going to be doing a farmer's market every other week down. It's an interesting, you know, we tried it up here. We had really bad luck with the weather that year, and it never really took off. NYU Langone has been doing a farmer's market on their property for their employees for quite some time. And they have reached out and asked if they could, you know, they kind of have outgrown the space and they would like to introduce it to the community. And here's the part that is the experiment. We're going to be closing parking field 1, which is the small parking lot that has about 20 spots, commuter parking lot, right at the train station, right by Station Plaza North, okay? We're gonna be doing that once a week, every other week on Thursdays in the morning. Just about every other week. We'll post the dates, because this is really their event, it's not our event, it's really an NYU Langone event, but we will be sure to advertise, so look for that. I'm sure that they will also advertise, there will be signage out, they will secure the parking lot, but it's going to be Thursdays, about
Starts
twice a month.
June
Starts
12th.
June 12th is the first one.
It's every other.
We're going to see how it goes, if it's a major inconvenience for our commuters, if it's a major inconvenience for parking down there, then we tried, but if it works, And if it's a way to get people downtown, and if it's a way to get that demand that clearly the community had for a farmer's market and working in conjunction with NYU Langone, it would be great. So we're throwing that out there. Although it's not one of our events, it certainly is something that we are coordinating with NYU to try to make a success. So in the next few weeks, you have the Foodie Festival, you have Sounds on Second, you have the opening of the pool is Father's Day weekend, you have the Arts Festival is also in June, you know, but we'll have meetings before then, and our concert series starts in June as well. So a lot going on, gonna hit the ground running, so no excuses to leave Mineola. And please try to support our local businesses, so as you start, the days get longer, you go out to grab a bite to eat, or you're going out to celebrate, you know, the Knicks are in the playoffs, the Yankees, the Mets, they're playing. We had a great local connection recently with the Kentucky Derby, although it wasn't in the village of Mineola. The owner does live in Mineola, so we'll take some credit for that. Mr. Cheapos was just featured on News 12 as well. And also keep an eye out for our event coordinator or organizer, LI Pop-Up. They have a scavenger hunt for each of these events, so if you go and you follow their clues, you can end up with a couple of $100 worth of merchandise and discounts and gift cards and stuff like that. So follow LI Pop-Up on social media, and they are the consultants that we use to put together our events, our event series, not our concerts. Our consultant for the concerts is sitting right here. But so to draw in, and the first, and this was great, and I'm just gonna tell the story, the first place where this scavenger hunt was Mr. Cheapos. And the person who found the box there, followed the clues and got there and got the box, that's great. But then Mr. Cheapos told us that as a result of this, he got a ton of traffic that day. He got a ton of other people who didn't win because they weren't the first ones there, but while they were there, they shopped, they bought, they discovered a new business. And so that's what we're hoping to do, is get people to come into the village because of this silly, you know, game of scavenger hunt, but yet now they've been turned on to a local business, and hopefully they will benefit from it. I know that Mr. Cheapos did, so much so that he now has decided to become part of the next scavenger hunt, where he's providing a gift certificate to his store for the next scavenger hunt. So I don't have any insight onto what the scavenger hunt is. So don't.
Sounds like you know.
No, I don't know. I don't know, nor do I want to know. So with that, I'll open it up to public comment. Anyone in the third row? Come on up.
Good evening, everyone. Happy summer. I think I'm a
Almost.
little premature, but I can't wait. Anyway, I just had one question. Do we know anything about Westbury Avenue, the store that used to be the community market, the meat store, the hair salon? It's been empty for a good number of years. Is there some interest?
Not that I have heard of. I know that the apartments upstairs are occupied. I do see people coming in and out. I do not know. I would venture to guess that there's probably, just like we had on the corner of Wilson and Herrick's Road, that's kind of a funky location. It's in the middle of a residential location. I grew up there. That's where my mom used to go get
I
cold
used to
cuts.
walk there
Right.
every
So
afternoon.
They used to be a Portuguese, before, but in my lifetime, it was a Portuguese mini market, or
Yes.
supermarket.
Yes.
The hairdresser next door, actually, her husband is in the fire department, Mrs. Galto. That's where my mom used to go. So no, I have not heard anything. You know what? I'm actually gonna look into what the zoning is, because it may be one of those things where it is a prior non-conforming use. In other words, it's grandfathered in, but if somebody were to come in and try to build something, they would not
They
be
would
able
not.
to build what's there now. They would have to, you know, do a home. I don't know. We're gonna look into it and
That would be
see,
great. Thank you.
Yeah, I hear you that, yeah, I drive by there a lot, and, I mean, the property is generally maintained.
Seems to
You
be.
know, it seems to be. it's just like what we did last week or 2 weeks ago. We approved for this bakery here, residential. Perhaps the landlord, if permitted, rather than, if a store's not gonna make it there, then perhaps just making it all, residential, rather than having an empty store.
I know, it's been a long
Yeah,
time.
I know that the owner of the property has been a long-time owner. I think he's still around, but he's owned it for decades. So I don't know if he has any plans, but, we'll look into it tomorrow and see if, but nothing has come up. Nothing, yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
So, anybody in the fourth row?
Good evening, Mayor Pereira,
Good evening.
ladies, gentlemen of the board. My name is Steve Kaufman. I live on 465 Marcellus Road. We've had a condition for many years of people, vehicles speeding through the street. It's become a main thoroughfare between Hillside and Jericho. And quite a few people now just blowing through the stop signs. We have a lot of kids all along that street, and I'm very concerned for their safety. There's other people on the block who have expressed the same thing. I'm sorry they're not with me tonight. One of the things I would like to ask the board to look into is the possibility of installing speed bumps along that route, just to temper the traffic somehow. I think they call it a traffic diet, to reduce the amount of traffic, or at least slow down, make people aware that they shouldn't be going as fast as they do. I believe the speed limit might be 20 or 30, and on average, it appears that many people are doing up to, say, 50. They're just zooming right through. And I wish it was just a rare incident, but if it was, I wouldn't be here. My real concern is that I'd hate to see this come back after somebody is injured or killed, and then, then it's too late.
I think what I'll do tomorrow is we're gonna call the third precinct, and sometimes all it takes is a little bit of re-education. And if we ask them to post a car there for a couple of days, and because I would presume that the people that are using it as a cut-through are probably habitual. They're probably conditioned to do it all the time. I would hope that it's not the people that live on the block that are speeding down the
I don't
block.
think so. To be honest, at least the people that I know, are very respectful.
Right. No.
They have children there. They know people who live there.
So so 465, that is close to the border, right?
Actually, my house is right on the border. The house right next to me is in Williston Park.
Right. So we'll talk to Mr. Palumbo about this right off the bat. And this is not the first time that people have come here. People on Wilson have come to ask for it, and there's a reason why. Not only we don't have them, many places don't have them. Everybody would want one, right? Somewhere. That would be the first thing. 2, snow plowing becomes complicated when snow's on the street and the speed bumps and you have the plows going into it. Parking, right? You would lose a parking spot essentially on either side of that speed bump where you put it. And I asked about where you were, and I saw by the number that you would have to be close to the border, is those of us who've been here long enough remember when East Williston put a barrier on Sagamore Road, probably in the 90s. And then there was kind of a lawsuit between us and them, and now if you've driven on Sagamore, there is a speed bump on Sagamore on the East Williston side, not on the Mineola side. And cars bottom out. It's tough to see at night. And you're right. People will slow down once they know the speed bump is there. But that first time, when they don't know it's there and they're flying down. So
Well, you
I will
put-
look into it, but I can tell you that it's not something that's very common in perhaps we'll reach out to other villages and see how they do it, but it's for those reasons. We have 36 miles of road. Your complaints or my complaints or the deputy mayor's complaints, everybody drives too fast. Everybody's in a hurry to go everywhere. Everybody wants to save not even 5 minutes, they want to save a minute, and they have this, Waze, right? So if Waze tells them, make a left on Marcellus, to make a right on Houston, to make a left on Wellington, to save 30 seconds, people just, go. When we started driving, you knew how to get to a place, and this is the way that you got to it, and you didn't try to shave off 30 seconds by following GPS. And I think this has brought a lot of traffic to our neighborhood streets. And I mentioned Wilson because Wilson is a cut between Hillside and Herrick's Road. Argyle becomes
Right,
a cut,
yeah.
right? People, the thought of doing that in the past, unless you were very familiar with it, like you have on the east end of the village, you have Rex Court and J Court behind North Shore Farms. Like there's
Yes.
only one way in and one way out. And if you are on Hillside Avenue by the golf course, and the traffic backs up because it's a single lane, you'll make a left on Rex Court and drive through the neighborhood to get off on J Court, which is where the 7-Eleven is, to get onto Jericho, which is a 4-lane highway to go east or to go
Right.
west. And again, 20, 30 years ago, unless you really knew the neighborhood, you wouldn't risk going into a neighborhood because you wouldn't know your way out. Now, because of GPS, to save 30 seconds, you do. I mean, that's another issue. So let us take a look at it, okay? I could see our neighbors to the north having an issue with it or not, right? Where do we put it? Do we put it in front of your house? Do we put it, 10 feet south of your house, 10 feet north of your house?
You can put it right in front if you
Right.
wish.
I know, but but I think the immediate thing is tomorrow, I'm gonna ask, our clerk to call the 3rd precinct, and we're going to, make sure that we have increased patrols there, because many times what we've found is that is a little bit of re-educate, I know it's a little bit of, like, pushing down on a balloon, you push down here, it pops up somewhere else, but, hopefully it will, mitigate the problem for the time being. Sometimes it's a matter of re-education, that first or second person who gets pulled over for running a stop sign, for speeding, or for reckless driving, the message will start to get out.
Okay, a couple of things. One, not every street in Mineola has this problem. I mean, I've looked for comparison. Obviously, I haven't ventured every street, every neighborhood, but I think that Marcellus is an exception. It's almost asking for traffic. It's that one connector with no lights, just goes all the way through. I have been through many neighborhoods where there are speed bumps. I'm sure you've seen them as well. And these areas make them work. They don't have to be mountains. They just have to be something that serves as a deterrent. You can even roughen the road in certain areas so that, it becomes uncomfortable for
Traffic
the
calming,
driver.
yeah.
I'm a structural engineer, by the way, so I've worked on a number of projects sort of like this.
So like I said, we'll take a look at it. You're right, we have 36 miles of road. Not every road is like that, but I will say that in my experience, we've had like Horton Highway between Jericho and First.
Yes.
That's a big one because people are trying to get to the hospital. And I hate to keep bringing this up, but these are unintended consequences. When we went from neighborhood schools to these cluster schools that we have now, so it used to be you went to Jackson Avenue because you grew up around Jackson Avenue, everybody walked there. You went to Hampton, now parents are driving their kids from Garden City Park to Hampton, or they're driving them from Williston Park to Jackson, and they gotta drop off their other son at the high school, the one at the middle school, and they're driving around, and then you have Chaminade, and you have all that.
Right.
These so there are more cars on the road, especially in these neighborhoods. So again, we just talked about Hampton Street and the roads. When I grew up, there were no buses at Hampton Street. There were no cars because everybody lived within a half mile of Hampton
Yeah.
Street. And you went to Hampton Street from kindergarten to 6th grade. So me, my brother, my other brother, and my cousin, we all walked together, and we were all together for 6 years. Now, you go to Hampton Street for 1st and 2nd grade, then you go to Jackson for 3rd and 4th, and then you go to the middle school for 5, 6, and 7. And I say that because, and you're going to these schools, not from the immediate neighborhood, but, so if I live in Wilson Park on Marcellus, I may have to drive my kid all the way down to Hampton Street or to the middle school or to Jackson Avenue, and I'm cutting through. So that's one. But so although to your point that not every street is like this, all those streets, you know, Horton, Wellington, Marcellus, I mean, Wellington doesn't go through Burkhardt. They certainly have that cut-through effect between Jericho and Hillside, Jericho and First. You know, it does happen, unfortunately.
I greatly appreciate you giving me the time to express this and
No,
to
I
hear my
appreciate it.
concerns and to follow up with it.
We certainly will.
It's apparent that you and I'm sure others on the board have children. So as you think through this issue, consider, you know, the impact of, God forbid, something were to happen to them by not taking any action.
Right.
I know it would break my heart to see any of those children hurt or killed.
Of course.
So thank you. Thank you very much for giving me the time.
I appreciate you coming down here to do that, and we will we'll certainly follow up.
Can someone follow up with me so that I can see your, you know, how
Okay,
you
so
progress?
Okay, so Mr. Rivera will follow up with you. And we're
Okay.
gonna follow up with the 3rd precinct tomorrow. We're gonna talk to Mr. Palumbo. We're gonna look at other villages, because I have to tell you that off the top of my head, in this area, I can't think. I was just in New Jersey recently, and I did see, I did come across some speed bumps in a residential area, but in this area, I can't think of any. But if they have been used successfully on village roads, similar to Mineola, so a similar community, whether it's, you know, Limbrook or Rockville Center or Westbury, I'm not talking about, you know, Laurel Hollow or, you know, something that where roads are very spread apart. But if we have examples where it's been successfully used, and those issues that I brought up about, you know, snow plowing, parking, et cetera, and the structural concerns as well, because, you know, we just talked about finishing up paving these roads. Right now, the going price for about a mile of road is close to $2 million a year, and we have 36 miles of them. So you can start to you know, of course, we would love to, and God forbid any of those things that you mentioned happen, but there are a number of considerations. And then safety, of course, is paramount, without a doubt. That is, you know, that trumps everything else. But we'll see the feasibility of it.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Take care.
You good? Come on up.
Thank you. I'm
Thank you.
Elvin's wife.
Yeah.
If I can reach it, right?
You can lower it.
I notice other things as well. I'm retired. I'm a retired teacher.
I'm
And,
hoping to join you real soon.
well, I taught elementary school, and that was the best I could even imagine. My concern is same block, married to the man, and trucks come down, and they're not supposed to. There's signs that say no trucks, but trucks come down, and I understand you have to go do work on somebody's house or something, but what I find is that they don't even stop at the stoplights. They just either zoom through or roll through, and we have 2 dogs, and I walk the dogs, and I have to wait because I'm too afraid that this truck's gonna blow us over. And I just wanna bring that to your attention. They're not even following stop signs.
I think that's one of the things that, again, positioning the police there, that will, you know, have an immediate effect. And, you know, to the point of trucks, something else that I forgot to bring up, but how our world has changed is Amazon, right? Deliveries. And not that they're these big 18-wheelers, but you have these little, you know, ambulette-looking things riding around the neighborhood
Well, we've had
all
a
day.
couple long trucks.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it says no trucks, and they just plow through, and I'm scared for the kids.
Yeah.
A lot of kids on that block.
Okay, we know the block well.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night. Thank you for coming
You
out.
too.
Anybody else on the board? No?
Yeah, I have one more thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to wish you an early happy birthday. Tomorrow is May's birthday, so on behalf of the village, happy birthday.
1 year closer to joining you. Actually, exactly 1 year. But who's counting, right? Thank you, Deputy Mayor, thank you, everyone. It's great, and Mother's Day, you know, my birthday would always end up around Mother's Day weekend, so it's great to celebrate. Thank you, everyone. I'll entertain a motion to close the public meeting.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Casado, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
Thank you.
Day.
Great night. Thank you.